What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of Draft to Glory. In the last sort of 5 or 6 episodes of Draft, we've only won 3 or 4, whereas before that for about 35 to 40 drafts we had won most of them. So we're in a bit of a rough patch, which winning every other draft as a rough patch is okay. However, we lost in the semi-final last episode. It was one of the worst drafts, if not the worst draft I'd ever put together. And I thoroughly hated it. We're going to go back for a narrow formation. This might just be the bane of my life going for narrow formations because it just stifles the Ronaldo Messi, right? But if you guys could drop a thumbs up on the video, it'd be much appreciated. We've been banging over 7,000 likes almost every single episode this year. So if we could keep that up, it would be amazing. Look down below. If it's less than 7K, let's drop a big old thumbs up. And we're going to start with Sergio Aguero today. We'll take that Argentinian player. Hopefully we get striker Messi, striker Ronaldo, striker Bale. And there is striker Bale, and I will take that striker Bale because he is just an absolute beast. Now we could link both of these quite easily with, say, an Aaron Ramsey, or an icon would be quite nice. We don't get an icon. Oh, I've got 2 great choices here. I mean, I could link them with Banega, and I'm sure you guys would probably take him, not me. I might go for this 90 Ericsson, 5-star, 4-star. Very good stats, great stam. I might go for this 89 Ozil. His shooting's not quite as good as Eriksen's, and neither is his weak foot. So yeah, I'm going to take Christian Eriksen to go in there, and we'll go Premier League theme down one side and maybe La Liga theme down the other side. So we could take Gomez. He's nice and tall, which works. Or we could take Saul. Both of them only get a soft link to Gareth Bale. Saul with a shadow, I probably prefer. 4-star, medium high, good defense, good pace. Yeah, I think we'll take Saul instead. It would have been nicer if we got his 83 upgraded card, but can't complain. Oh, perfect. Just pop him there, and then swap these 2 around there, and that hopefully will have a better fit all round. Oh, perfect! Give me that Kante. This is turning out to be an all right team. I mean, other than Saul, this has actually turned out to be a sick team. If we can get a Premier League left back, I might go full Prem. I mean, we didn't even get a La Liga player anyway. I don't want to use James Milner, or should I say James Milner. But we'll take him. It looks like we're going Prem themed. Looks like we're not going Prem themed. Look at, what are these centre-backs, EA? Come on, let me take the Englishman just because he links with James Milner. I don't want either of those in my final team. Right, much better. Rafa Varane will take. We're going to go La Liga. Down that left-hand side, I'll find someone. Even if we get a La Liga right-back that's solid, and I was going to say a no Premier League right-back, but Aurier works because he gets strong link to Christian Eriksen. I like this team. I know it looks like a mess right now. I don't believe it is a mess. Now, if I take a Premier League goalkeeper, I'm forcing myself to go Premier League. If I take Costil, at least we get a soft link into Varane, and then if we potentially get Koscielny, we'll be fine. Now I know it's only 75 chemistry right now, but once we change those 2 defenders, we'll be right up there in the 90s, maybe even up towards 100. Now 84 Matic is a good shout, and we can go full Prem. 86 Fabric. No, I'm going to take Matic. I don't want to use Matic. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that, and that's going to give us 5 bonus chemistry because Kante gets 7 chemistry down there in at centre back. But I am absolutely open to changing these. Let's take Muriel, a nice good sub. I need to finish off this defence. I need some luck or something that's going to say, hey, here's the way you finish off your defence. If not, it does look like we're going to go for a full Prem setup. Ooh, Casemiro's way better. Gets way better, much better. See, now I could take Nathaniel Klein, and we've then got a full Premier League defence, although it would be Kante and Klein in defence, and that's not what I'm about. Or I could play Matic in at centre-back. Could take Casemiro and play him left centre mid and get a strong link to Bale, which would get Casemiro more chemistry than Saul currently has. Or I could play him in there next to Varane and get a strong link. I'm going to take this Casemiro card, I believe. Even playing him, let's pop him in there. That puts us to 82. And then, yeah, that's where we're going to have to kind of keep it for the time being. Wonder if swapping De Bruyne and Eriksen works. That actually takes us up to 84, which is quite nice. So 84 chemistry there, and I could get it to 85 as well if I swap Matic and Casemiro, but I don't think I want that. I really need a La Liga left back or a La Liga full back, at the very least. I also don't want to use Kante at centre back. What have we got here? Johar, Reyes, Reina. I'm going to take Bellerin just in case, because if we do go full Premier League, I've got the players to go full Premier League. The goalkeeper is quite irrelevant here. Premier League goalkeeper obviously would be nice, so we'll take Kasper Schmeichel. What do we take? Asenjo. Asenjo is a good goalkeeper, soft link to Ramos as well. Let's take Asenjo for the time being, and we'll see what we get. I really could use a good La Liga left back. I could have just used any La Liga left back, to be fair, but I mean, I could take Gael Clichy. He gets a soft link to Varane. Let's take him. Let's pop him up in there. We only get 3 chemistry boost off of that. This is it. This is the deciding factor. I mean, it's just not coming for me, is it? We don't have a Spanish player to link him unless we put Saul back in there, but that actually doesn't change chemistry at all. Karsdorp not interested in. Let's take Joshua Kimmich. We've literally got one more chance to get a La Liga fullback. Now that's interesting. So I could go put Mkhitaryan in centre mid, and put Hector Bellerin at left back, and James Milner in at centre back. But then I took Asenjo and not a Premier League goalkeeper. That was a mistake. I didn't really think that one through. That Florenzi card is so good, just can't link him. Imagine if I took Karsdorp. Obviously, I can't see into the future, right? Didn't know I'd get Florenzi. If I took Karsdorp instead of Kimmich, Florenzi would work. I don't know which one of the two I want to take. I don't know if I want Mkhitaryan to play him on 7 chem at left mid, and then I would need a Premier League striker to finish that off. I think we'll take Mkhitaryan. So give me an Aubameyang game. Give me an Aubameyang. Or give me a Bakayoko. Bakayoko works nicely, actually. I'm going to take Bakayoko because I'm going to put Bakayoko in at centre back and Kante in at CDM. That's a lot better. That is a lot better. Alright, last 2 picks. A Premier League striker would be a dream. Not Gale. Sorry, Marshall, but not Dwight Gale. I'll take him anyways. And then the last pick. Come on, give me something to work with here. Nothing. I mean, Bruno just doesn't really work. We'll take him for rating. Now, the choices I've got are, I can put Gale up front, and then Mkhitaryan or Matic, but both of them work nicely. Or Ozil, he works nicely too. You know, Matic takes us up to 99 chemistry, Henrik Mkhitaryan. Oh, I'll tell you what, actually, popping Matic in there, swapping Matic and De Bruyne around, and then swapping Gale. There you go, that's 100 chemistry. That's everybody on full chem except the left back and the right centre back. And him on 7 chem isn't going to be a great centre back. What does he have? He has a shadow. Now he's only 5'6", but I think as a centre back, I think Kante would probably be better. Now what I'm not keen about is having Matic in the midfield because he's too slow. So I'll put Mkhitaryan in there instead. I like this team. I don't mind this team at all actually, because we also have good subs. I could put Bellerin in instead of Aurier as well. Much better pace, worse defending, worse physical. Does have a... let's go for the pace. Let's go for the pace over Aurier. And I could even play Ozil. You know, I could pop Ozil in instead there. I don't want to. We'll take Ozil onto the bench. Yeah, so that Clichy card is actually sick. It's a really good... it's a really good card to link everyone. Now, the attack's good. Gale is not ideal. Gale will get subbed off for Bale. Gale for Bale. Or Muriel. Eriksen, fine. De Bruyne, fine. If I could link Eriksen as a left centre mid instead of the cam, I would. But yeah, De Bruyne and Eriksen are fine. Mkhitaryan is great. We've got 3 5-star weak footers in the midfield. Bakayoko, Kante, Varane, great. The defence is a bit shaky. This team is okay. For a manager, I guess a Premier League manager, specifically Wenger would be ideal, a French Premier League manager. He doesn't really help us. He doesn't help us at all. He doesn't help us at all. He doesn't help us at all, but he gets us up to 100 chem, so happy days for Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe? It is Eddie Howe, isn't it? I hope so. Not a bad team. Not a great overall rating, only a 186, but the formation is good. The players are very meta, other than one or two, and I would hope to be able to do good things with this draft, and I would hope to get our 50th win with this draft. Let's see if we can, guys. Let's get into the action. Okay, guys, as we get into the gameplay, the first opponent we come up against has got a 4-3-3 team, a really nice team actually as well. Bale, informed Suarez, the Delafoe card, informed Alba, informed Sanchez, team of the year De Bruyne, the special Gundogan, and then a full Premier League defence with that David De Gea. And man, whenever I see David De Gea or Ter Stegen, I'm just like, well, my game plan has to change because I heavily rely on low drivens to score goals. It's no secret, the low driven is mad OP, and yes, of course, goalkeepers David De Gea, Farman and Ter Stegen have saves with feet trait, and I think that De Gea and Ter Stegen are so good themselves because they have really high rated cards on top of the saves with feet trait, which just makes them that little bit better. So it's always a struggle for me when I come up against those goalkeepers, and it makes me have to change the way I think and change the way I shoot. However, that KDB goal there, the low driven from the top of the box, was nice, and I think when, like, on reflection of how the goalkeepers save and such, and this might be something that you guys can take into your gameplay, is that when you play against goalkeepers with save with feet trait and you hit cross body shots like I did there with Gareth Bale, now that went in anyway, but they're more likely to save those. But when you hit the dead straight shots like I did with KDB initially, I think they're less likely to save those because they're just not standing, they're not standing in the right place. They don't get their body out and their legs down, if that makes sense. So it was really nice to get a couple of goals against this DDG, and then Luis Muriel with another low driven, just completely disintegrating the saves with feet trait on David De Gea for this game. So a nice, easy, comfortable 4-2 victory through into the second round. I did concede the first goal here, which always puts me under a little bit of pressure. But yeah, nice comfortable victory. You can see how I've changed the team as well. We brought a Muriel and Bale. I swapped De Bruyne up to Cam and Eriksen down into centre mid, and we get ourselves a nice victory there. So we go into the second round, a 1-8-8 team. An interesting team. Kante, Hazard, De Bruyne, great. Sané, great. His defence generally is very, very good. Christensen's not bad. I think that's Peters at left back isn't great, but whatever. You just one bad player. Coutinho's not really my bag, but I have played with slower players on the wing before. And I was hoping that we'd be able to move on to the semi-final quite comfortably as well here. And we start off with the first goal. KDB gets into the space, has a shot, falls back to De Bruyne, gets the space on the edge of the box, finds Mkhitaryan, lovely little fake shot past the defender, gets past the defender again, flops that into Gale, who slides it into Aguero. A really nice team goal, and Aguero slides that one past the goalkeeper into the bottom left-hand corner. 20 minutes on the clock now as we attack again. Eriksen and Gale linking up. Ball finds its way to Aguero, and boom, we get ourselves another goal, another low-driven, and we go up 2-0. The third goal came just before half-time from a corner. Corner goes into Eriksen near post. He's got some options. He plays that one into Varane there. Varane finds Gale. Excuse me, Gale eventually gets a second bite at the cherry and slams that one home as well. And then the fourth and final goal came from Gareth Bale. Ball goes into Bale there, and a nice low-driven first-time shot to go underneath the goalkeeper and put us 4-0 up. And that is where this game was done. My opponent paused it, he quit, and we go through to the semi-final. Now, of course, semi-final is where we lost in the last game. In the last round, in the last draft, we had that really bad team. We did our best. We wasn't good enough. And, when I've got a good team at my hands, I do expect to at least get to the final every single time in the draft. But what we came up against was an insane team. Team of the year, Ronaldo, De Bruyne and Marcelo. He's got the special Hazard, the special Azpilicueta, another De Gea, Hector Bellerin. And this guy paused it and made subs straight away. I don't really recall what subs he made. But I'm sure he probably took off that left centre-back and that left centre-mid. I don't really recall it. And he actually scored the first goal as well. And man, what a lucky goal it was. It ended up going down as an own goal. It hits Costil on the knee and then on the elbow, and eventually finds its way into the back of the net after 5 minutes. And I could tell this was going to be a tough game because my opponent was good. He was doing drag backs, ball rolls, really well worked. He knew how to defend properly. He knew all the game mechanics. And I just knew I was going to have to really focus and really work hard on making sure I got my goals and got my chances. And we do eventually eventually get a goal to go 1-1, and then it wasn't too long before we got a goal to go 2-1 up as well. Ozil just stabs that one into Aguero. Aguero lays that one into the box, and De Bruyne there on the volley slams that one home. De Bruyne is a striker currently in this game as well, not down at cam. I think he's down at cam now though, as Gareth Bale was on the pitch in the second half. Lovely little 1-2s between Bale and Aguero. The ball eventually falls to Gael Clichy. He gets the ball in, doesn't manage to get the good cross off, heads that back in again, and there is Mkhitaryan to slam that one home with the bicycle / scissor kick to put us 3-1 up. And then eventually, just a few minutes later, we actually went 4-1 up. Great ball in. Sorry, not a great ball in actually. I thought I got a good cross in on one of these. Maybe it's for that De Bruyne goal. But eventually I get the low driven with Aguero to make it 4-1. And I kind of like at 4-1 I was relieved, but I knew this game wasn't over. A really, really poor defensive mistake from me gave this guy a chance to get straight back into the game. Eden Hazard with the header from the cross makes it 4-2. As I said right at the top of this game, you know, this guy was very good. He knew how to defend, he knew how to attack. He gets a little bit lucky to get the ball off me here. Kante doing some good work, but just not strong enough to hold off that Team of the Year Ronaldo. A great ball into Dani Alves. Dani Alves to Eden Hazard, and that's just a beautiful goal to make it 4-3. And I was honestly worried now. I was like, this guy's got the momentum behind him. His back is up. He's feeling confident now to get back in. So I slowed the game down, worked hard, got myself another goal to make it 5-3 with 5 minutes left. I really thought this was going to be game over and I would crush him, but no. 89th minute or 90th minute here, Dybala pops it across. Costil taps that one out to Ronaldo, who taps it into the back of the net to make it 5-4. Fortunately, I managed to hold on for the rest of the game, and this was genuinely just the most difficult game of the draft. He was a very, very good player, yeah, although I created a few more opportunities, it was a very balanced game. I probably deserved to just edge it. Into the final, we come up against an insane team. Team of the group stage, Griezmann, Michael Owen Prime, Maradona Prime, Kante Team of the Year, Inform Eriksen and Pogba, Inform Alaba, Ter Stegen in form, and then Kompany, Jimenez and Ashley Young in defence. So 3 weak players there. Kompany's not too bad, but they're all off chemistry. And I was like, okay, this is going to be a tough game. I did manage to get the first... No, I went 1-0 down again in this game, sorry. I went 1-0 down in the first round, 1-0 down in the semi-final, and 1-0 down in the final as well. Maradona here with a scoop turn, plays it into Christian Eriksen. Eriksen into Owen. The easiest 1-2 between Owen and Griezmann there. It's really poor defending from me. Really, really lazy defending. And I went 1-0 down. And then having Kante at centre-back worked out for me a lot this year. This draft, except for right here. Kante just never going to win that header over Pogba, so my opponent went 2-0 up after 20 minutes, and it was quite tricky. But after he went 2-0 up, something changed. I don't know if I went attacking, and that might have been the change. I don't know if he went defensive or if he stayed the same as what he was on, but something changed at 2-0, and I started absolutely dominating the game. I get a lucky rebound goal there with Aguero to make it 2-1, but there was nothing lucky about the goal that made it 2-2 on the stroke of half-time here. Mkhitaryan lays it into Bale, Bale into Aguero. Aguero waits for the run of the players. He's got Clichy down the left-hand side, who is actually quite enjoyable, to be fair. Clichy lays it out to Eriksen. Eriksen puts it into Kun Aguero. Aguero into De Bruyne, and De Bruyne smashes that one home. Just an incredibly well-worked goal to draw it up to 2-2. Just a really, probably about 8 to 10 passes in there. Really nice. And then just after half-time, my domination kind of continued, really. I was just creating all the chances. I could easily have already been 3, 4, 5 goals up by this point. We eventually get KDB in on net, and he scores to make it 3-3. Unfortunately, my opponent made it... scores to make it 3-2. My opponent did make it 3-3 after 65 or so minutes. Just weak again. Really lazy defending. I intercepted that with Kante. I rushed the pass. I gave it back to him, and he made it 3-3 like so. And then after knocking on his door over and over and over, we eventually find the right ball into De Bruyne to shoot and score in the 90th minute and take this draft home. So 50 draft victories, and you'll see here, guys, by the match stats and by where my shots were from. 3 saves for Costil, 8 for Ter Stegen, and just look at the shot map. I absolutely deserve to win this game. It should have been not even as close as it was. This, though, guys, is going to be the end of the gameplay. Let's get into the packs. So, guys, 50 draft victories. I love my record. I'm not going to lie. 269 wins and only 39 losses. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. I think so anyway. You guys may disagree. Some of you have probably got much, much better records. What I'm really loving is that my average goals conceded per match just continues to come down. Slowly but surely. We was up at over 2, 20, 30 episodes ago. Then we was in the like 1.92 to 1.95 section for a while. Now we're down at 1.84. I want to keep that coming down and down to like 1.5, 1.4 mark. But yeah, 50 wins, guys, from 89 entries. Fantastic. This team was great. This draft was difficult, but this team was great. In-game, if my opponent paused it, I swapped those two around. The semi-final, I actually put De Bruyne up front and brought in Ozil to start. And then I subbed in Gareth Bale later on and subbed out Ozil again because he doesn't have the greatest stamina, down at 74. But this team did me well, man. It really did me well. There was one instance where Kante's height was a problem, and that was in the final. The guy went 1-0 up with just a really easy 1-2 through my defence, you know, just really let myself down defending poorly on that one. And then he went 2-0 up with a Pogba header from across as Kante was trying to mark him. Like, it's just a mismatch in height. He's never going to win that header. And he went 2-0 to the good, and I was like, okay, this is going to be a final that I'm probably going to lose. As I just slowed my game down a little bit, I got back into the game and I actually absolutely destroyed him. I was lucky enough to win it in the 90th minute. However, you saw the match stats where the shots were from. I should have scored. I should have put him away. I should have scored 6-7 goals that game, you know. But generally speaking, this team was absolutely fantastic. This guy is absolute star of the show. KDB is just amazing. I think actually in every single round except round 1, we went behind. Oh no, in round 1 we might have even gone behind as well. But the semi-final and the final we definitely went behind. The semi-final was a very tough game. That was probably the most difficult game. He was a really good opponent, had a really good team, and I ended up like literally etching it 5-4. But again, look at the number of goals conceded here. 9 goals conceded in the 4 games. It's just really bad. You know, I really need to sort my defending out. But in spite of that, we come away with our 50th draft victory. What do we get for the rewards? Premium Gold Players Pack and a Mega Pack. It's not the worst reward in the world. You will almost definitely make your money back off of a return like this. First and foremost, we've got 3k from from match earnings. So we're looking for 12,000 coins here, and you'll always get 12k out of these. We don't get a board here, but even if we discarded this, looking for 12k at discard value, you're picking up 4.5k there. So that leaves us needing 6.5k, or sorry, 7.5k. Is there anyone here that actually sells right now? It doesn't look to be the case. Let's list this guy up. We'll keep the rest of these. We'll keep. Hello? Like, is my button's not registering? Yeah, we'll keep the rest of these guys. I don't think any of these guys are worth humongous amounts right now. Maybe some of the Premier League guys are worth a little more than normal, but probably not. But all in all, it's actually probably like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 3.5, 4, probably about 6k in this pack. So we're probably looking for about 6,000 coins back from the Mega Pack, which we'll be able to discard for probably around that sort of mark. So we would have made profit again here today, especially now as we get ourselves a board player. Who's he going to be? Come on, be a big player for a change. Spanish. Goalkeeper. It's Casillas. Sad times on that one. I thought, David De Gea could have been really nice, but no, we get a Casillas. And, yeah, not a lot else here. But selling for much, he's not worth anything nor him. A few fitness cards and training cards and all sorts. Hey man, not bad, not bad. We'll list these guys up as well. Tosun up for 900 and Aurelio. There we go, got it in the end. We'll list him up. The Arsenal kit we'll also list up. That'll sell. And is the Lazio third kit a good kit? No, so we'll discard that. So all in all, we definitely made some profit here, but most important thing, guys, is that, one of the things that I struggle with when losing a draft is genuinely just that panic of, oh God, if I don't win the next draft, I'm just falling into a pattern of negativity again. And I hate doing that. I want to give you guys the best gameplay and the best content. And the only way I can do that is by continually winning drafts. So always coming back in and winning a draft after losing it is just a weight off my shoulders. It really is. So I'm so delighted to have won the draft anyway. But our 50th draft win, I honestly didn't think I'd get 50 draft wins this year in Draft to Glory. So thank you guys for supporting me through this series so far. There's still just under 6 months of FIFA 18 left. We might be able to get to 100 draft wins. That is going to be the aim. This, though, guys, is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace out.